Okay. Coming down 3, 2, and 1. Happy Friday, guys. What's up? Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, to follow me across all socials. And this podcast is being brought to you by omahasteaks.com, the customized URL, omahasteaks.com/juice. You go and pick up a subscription. That's the new offer with Omaha Steaks. omahasteaks.com/juice is that customized URL. You get to lock in your price plus an extra 10% off every subscription order, and you get free burgers for life when you go to omahasteaks.com/juice. Everything always backed by their 100% money back, unconditional guarantee at omahasteaks.com/juice. Okay, 2-1 night last night. So this is the life of a sports gambler, right? 3-0, 1-2, 0-3, 2-1, 6-6. So a flat week, down the juice. Let's finish off the weekend strong. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Still have a chance for another winning week after a very successful winning week last week. Let's see if we can bounce back here and get another winning week. And I have my first golf bet of 2024. If you guys remember my golf wagering, I am not that great at betting golf, but there's a golf play that I like. It's a little juicy, minus 125, but it's a second round Genesis Open head-to-head. So let's see how I wind up faring. I'm not great with the futures. I'm not great with taking guys outright. It can be a crazy wacko sweat, but I think there's a chance here to kind of come on in and, have some fun here with the Genesis Open. We'll get into that here in just 1 second. Quick update on our college basketball as we got that bet right. 1-1 in hockey, so we are now 7-8 in hockey, and we go to 47-35 in college basketball. That puts us up nearly 12 units in college basketball. The Vermont bet was an easy walk. I've got 2 bets in college basketball for us coming up here tonight. Let's start with the late night game, New Mexico at San Diego State. The number is 6.5. KenPom has this as a 4-point win for San Diego State. New Mexico has been a little bit of a road demon lately. They're 8-4 ATS. Now, San Diego State's got one of the best home court advantages in college basketball. I'll give you that. They're 7-3 ATS at home this season, but they're 6-6 in conference in the Mountain West. New Mexico on the road. They went to Nevada. We faded them, or not officially, but I bet against them, and I lost. I learned something. New Mexico beat Nevada outright on the road. They beat Wyoming outright on the road, laid 10.5, won by covered with 18. They went to San Jose State, laid 8, won by 20. They went to Air Force, laid 10.5. They won by 19. The only loss on the road recently was back on the 9th of January, and they lost by 10 to UNLV. They also lost on the road to Colorado State, catching 4, but lost by 8. But since, they've been pretty good. The only games they've lost recently have been at home, which is crazy. I mean, New Mexico's got one of the best home court advantages in college basketball. But they're 9-3 ATS this year. They're 17-7 against the number. I got 6.5 last night. Give me 6.5. New Mexico plus 6.5 here on the road up against San Diego State. Mountain West Conference is going to be awesome down the stretch. We're going to look to bet a lot of Mountain West Conference games in the Mountain West Conference tournament because, look, there's some really good teams. They could have 5 teams in the NCAA tournament. It's kind of crazy to go, wait, how many ACC teams are going to get in? 4? Maybe 5? Mountain West may have 5. I don't think they'll get 6, but it's not like incredibly impossible to think that they might wind up getting themselves 6. So this is going to be a fun game. It's a late night game for you West Coast people. It's a common number for us, but for you late night people, this game is going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm taking 6.5 plus 6.5 here. Circa Sports in Vegas. The number's climbing, by the way. People are betting on San Diego State. Number in Vegas is already up to 7 at certain books. Heck, you know what? Take 7. I got 6.5. Yeah, well, that's what I bet, so I'll leave it as is. But there's a book in Vegas at 7. I already bet it. It just went to 7. So, Superbook, if you have Superbook Sports, take 7. I like New Mexico. Maybe somebody's out for New Mexico that we don't know about as of yet. It hasn't been announced, and that's why the number's going up. But Opened at 5.5, up to 6.5, 7 in certain books. I'll take the 6.5, but you guys should get the 7 at +7 for San Diego State. Or sorry, for New Mexico. New Mexico +6.5 officially, even though you could get a 7 out there as well for that, for 1.1 units. Bet number 2. VCU is on the road at St. Louis. VCU on the year, get this, they are 6-1-1 ATS, 8-2 over their last 10, 8-3 in conference. St. Louis is 5-6 at home, 4-7 in the A10, and they haven't been great at home recently. Against Fordham, they lost as 1-point favorites. They lost by 2. By UMass, catching 4.5, they lost by 11. Against Davidson, they were laying 2. They lost by 23 at home. On the flip side, VCU has been tremendous. Won by 2 as 2-point dogs against Dayton at home. On the road against Fordham, they laid 4. They won by 15. At home against Richmond, laid 5. They won by 11. They lost to St. Bonnie's by 5 as 4.5-point dogs. Didn't cover there. But the previous 5 games before that, they covered. 8 of 9. Davidson on the road, laying 1.5, won by 5. Loyola Chicago laying 4.5 at home, won by 7. St. Louis laying 8.5, won by 24. LaSalle laid 5.5, won by 6. Against George Mason, caught 4, won by 4 on the road. VCU's been red hot. 14-8-2 overall ATS. Numbers 4.5. We're jumping on VCU here on the road. It's going down, which is kind of surprising. Number opened up at 5.5. I got 4.5. Most books in America are at 4.5 or 5. You might be able to get a lower number. You might be able to get 4. I'm going against the line movement early. The first move, I'm going against both of them here. Money coming in on St. Louis, saying, okay, tough to win on the road. I got you, but I'm taking the hotter team. Give me VCU. VCU -4.5 for 1.1 units. With the road favorite in college basketball, I know it's like, oh my gosh, Matt, that could be really scary, but KenPom has this as a 6-point win. So a couple points of value there, 1.5 of value there with KenPom on this game. So I'm taking the road favorite, VCU, -4.5 for 1.1 units. Now, to golf. Patrick Cantlay, and I used to say Cantlay, but Cantlay, first round leader at the Genesis Open. Shot 7 under. Tremendous. Justin Thomas really struggled. It's only -120 at DraftKings for Patrick Cantlay against Justin Thomas. Head-to-head, round 2, 18-hole head-to-head. It's only -120. Now, you might go like, well, Matt, Cantlay's probably going to come back down to earth. He shot a 64 yesterday. But here's the thing. Last year at the Genesis, he shot a 67 in round 2. Now, you could say, look, different tournament, different settings, but Cantlay plays really well in California. He's from California, plays really well, played at UCLA. This is in LA. He's very comfortable where he plays here, okay? So you look at the swing last year out for the West. He's played really well. At the Genesis Open, he came in 3rd last year. 68, 67, 68, 67. Really impressive. Came away with $1.3 million. Went to the Arnold Palmer, tied for 4th. He missed the cut at the Phoenix Open, which, not that shocking, but that was last year. So he loves this golf course. 64, first round leader. Justin Thomas is the exact opposite. Justin Thomas does not like this golf course. I don't know where JT's game has gone, to be quite honest. It's just been very, very inconsistent. And he probably makes the cut because a lot of golfers kind of blew up down the bottom. Got a bunch of golfers at 2 over, 4 over, 5 over. So top 50 will make the cut here of the 70 golfers. Tiger Woods may be one of them, but Tiger needs to get going here a little bit. Didn't play great. 1 over par for Tiger. But I just think last year, Justin Thomas shot a 73 in round 2. He made the cut. It didn't play great. Shot okay in round 1. 73 in round 2. Now, again, not to say that round 2s from last year have really anything to do with round 2s of this year. Different weather, different everything. But just the way Justin Thomas is playing, I just don't buy it. just not believing in Justin Thomas's ability here to step up and really like shoot a lights out. I think you can probably pencil in a 68 or 67 for Cantlay. And where are we going to go here for Justin Thomas? I don't know, to be frank. I mean, he shot 1 over par yesterday, shot a 72, shot a 73 in round 2. He played the back much better than the front. He made 4 bogeys and 1 birdie on the front, and then 2 birdies on the back to kind of save the round a little bit for himself to come in and shoot a 72. But I don't know, 70, 71, that feels about right for Justin Thomas here. Cantlay shooting a 67, 68. He tees off at 11:42 Pacific time, about 2:42 Eastern time. I'm going minus 120. Give me Cantlay, 1.2 units down. Head-to-head, let's make our first golf bet of 2024. It's a decent price for a guy in Justin Thomas I just don't trust, to be quite honest. Give me Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay, 1.2 units, minus 120. Head-to-head, 18-hole matchup for round 2 at the Genesis Invitational out in L.A. at Riviera. Okay, so VCU minus 4.5, New Mexico plus 6.5, and Patrick Cantlay head-to-head up against Justin Thomas for round 2 of the Genesis Open. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning. Daily Juice Podcast being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.